wielding the double-edged sword of knowledge. We live in the age of information, and human civilization has reached a powerful stage in its development. We can accomplish things that once seemed unimaginable. We can travel to the moon, converse with people on the other side of the planet, and we can access a vast collection of human knowledge in the blink of an eye. Knowledge is power. But like any great power, it comes with its downsides. It can overwhelm us, leaving us feeling desperate to fix issues we see in the world, many of which are beyond our immediate control. If we dwell on these, it can leave us feeling powerless. Knowledge is truly a double-edged sword. One edge cuts through obstacles and challenges, helping us reach our goals, while the other edge can wound us, leaving us overwhelmed and debilitated. The very thing that empowers us can also disempower us. Knowledge plays a crucial role in scientific advancement, but also empowers individuals in their personal and emotional lives. The more we understand our internal processes, what triggers our reactions, the more insight we gain into ourselves. This awareness can help free us from self-limiting behaviors, allowing us to navigate life with greater clarity and control. On a societal level, knowledge of political systems has empowered many to fight for their freedoms, leading to notable civil rights movements for African Americans, women, and other marginalized groups. Awareness of world events allows people to hold leaders accountable and work toward positive change. In interpersonal relationships, knowledge helps foster peace and understanding. When we are aware of our own triggers and what motivates others, we are better equipped for difficult conversations and able to find common ground. Knowledge can bridge divides and bring people together, even when they do not see eye to eye. With all these positive benefits, it might seem like we should engage deeply with all the information we receive, never letting a single piece of it pass us by. However, there is a cost to consuming too much information, especially when it is not processed intentionally, much like a weapon wielded without care. What is presented in the news, particularly on a global or national level, is often outside our realm of control. This lack of agency can leave us feeling hopeless and powerless. When we witness issues like climate change, war, or human rights abuses, problems often involving massive institutions that seem beyond our influence. The solutions available to us, such as voting or signing petitions, seem slow and uncertain, and only minimally contribute to a real sense of agency. Knowledge can open doors to truth and clarity, but it can also mislead us. Not only can we be overwhelmed by news in general, but we are often bombarded by misinformation, propaganda, and unnecessarily inflammatory messaging. The sheer volume of conflicting narratives makes it difficult to know what is true, leaving many people disoriented and unsure of how to act. All of this makes wielding the sword of knowledge more complicated, forcing us to navigate an environment where not all information is trustworthy. What exacerbates this is that social media and news outlets prioritize inflammatory and polarizing topics, fueling outrage, stress, and division. When we are repeatedly confronted with overwhelming news and distressing events, we begin to feel powerless, paralyzed by the sheer scale of the problems and unable to take meaningful action. So we can see the two edges of this powerful sword, one serving us and the other injuring us. To wield it properly, we must learn to handle it with care, and it is crucial to determine which information to engage with and which to examine more closely before becoming emotionally invested. Not every moment calls for deep engagement with information, and being selective about when and how we consume knowledge is essential. We must also recognize when the weight of the sword has become too great for our own strength, because if we can no longer hold it upright, it is far more likely to cut us. Furthermore, there are times when we should set the sword aside entirely, such as when sitting down at the dinner table. If we never remove it from our belt, we risk injuring ourselves or others simply by trying to rest or celebrate. In the same way, if we never take time to enjoy simple things in life or take breaks from the flood of information, our well-being will inevitably suffer. They say you should pick your battles. In the context of knowledge, this means shifting our focus away from areas beyond our control and instead toward meaningful accomplishments, perhaps at the local level. Rather than dwelling on large-scale issues that can lead to a sense of despair, we can focus on actions where our efforts yield tangible results. By prioritizing what is within our control, we regain a sense of empowerment and avoid being consumed by hopelessness. Knowledge should not be something that drags us down, but a tool that uplifts and allows us to create real change where we can. True power comes not just from knowing, but from how we use that knowledge. Knowledge is power, but it can also be a burden. It is a double-edged sword, and to wield it wisely, you must pick your battles. You must wield the sword of knowledge properly so that you can maintain power and agency in your own life. Instead of letting knowledge control you, you can take control of it. With this understanding, you will have a powerful tool to enact change in your life and in the lives of those around you. And you will keep all your abilities intact to bring peace, goodness, and healing into the world.